Now I want to take just a couple of minutes to show you about the leash and collars that are going to be in your puppy pickup bag. And we will show you this when you pick your puppy up in front of our house. It's very important that you watch this ahead of time because it can be a little bit confusing. So to help make it as simple as possible, we want you to watch this, and then it should make more sense when you get your puppy. So you're getting a leash. This would be the leash, and it is going to have two collars. And one of the collars, I'm going to take both of them off for just a minute. One of the collars is just a regular flat collar. You're probably all aware of these collars. They have a slide on the side that will help you adjust to the correct size for your puppy's head and throat. And you want it to be a little bit loose, not super tight. Maybe a couple of fingers should fit into that when it's on your puppy's head. And it has a clip that opens up, and you put it on your puppy and clip that shut. This little half circle ring is where you will attach any tags for the puppy. You're probably going to run out and buy a cute tag that has its name and your phone number on it. That would go on here. Anything important would go on this, and this stays on the puppy all the time. Now, this collar is called a Martingale collar, and this, unlike this collar does not have a clasp on it that opens and closes. This collar does have a slide on it so that you can adjust the size of the collar to go on the puppy and fit properly, but it does not have a clip. So this collar goes on directly over the puppy's head. So if we're sideways and this is the puppy's head goes through the circle. When the collar is on and there is a leash attached, the leash gets attached right here, and when there is tension on the leash, it reduces in size to the diameter of the puppy's throat. So it is going to be more snug fitting on the puppy's throat when there is tension on the leash, but it is not going to choke your puppy, so you don't have to worry about that. We send these home with every customer of ours because we want to make sure that you are not going to lose your puppy. We know of incidences where the puppies get wiggly and they can wiggle out of these collars if they are nervous and in situations that, you know, they just feel a little tense about. So the Martingale collar, when it goes on and their head goes through and there is tension on the leash, this is snug enough to where their head can't go out because it is secure around the jawbone. So basically the jawbone sticks out a little bit more. And because that jawbone sticks out just a little bit more, when the Martingale is snug around the throat, it can't get out because the jawbone is wider than the diameter of the throat. So that's our reasoning behind doing the Martingale collar. And you may have a trainer that prefers you not to use a Martingale. You can switch to whatever you want down the road. This is very effective when you have a little puppy. And again, we just want to make sure that the puppy is safe and it's not going to be able to get away from you. So the Martingale collar is the one that can be a tiny bit confusing. And I just want to go over with you the components of the collar. First of all, you can see there are two square rings on either side of this loop of fabric. So this loop of the nylon webbing right here is fairly small. I can't even get my hand through this. It won't go. It's too small. So don't try to put your puppy's head through there. This is the ring that will help adjust the slack in the collar, and this is the loop that you attach your leash to. I tell clients that it is like your leash and your collar are married, and once they are put together, they never come apart. So when you come back from walking, you slide this Martingale collar off the puppy with the leash, and you hang these up together on your hook, and when you go out for your next walk, you take it off the hook, you slide this on your puppy's head, and you're good to go. So you do have to adjust this slide as your puppy gets older. One thing I want to make sure you understand though, when you're putting this on, and I am going to undo the clip for just a minute, when you put this on, you need to make sure that one side of this collar has a fold, and that's where the adjustable slide is, and the other side does not have a fold. It has a ring that you won't be using. You can ignore the ring, but that just helps you to know that that's one side of the full collar, and the folded side is the other side. So if your puppy's head is very small and the throat smaller, yours might look like this, and you have the fold over here, and you have this ring here, and your slide is way up at the end. Puppy's head goes through here. When there is tension on the leash, it reduces in size so that the puppy's head can't come out. So what gets confusing is that people will pick this up and it will look more like this, and they will try to put the puppy's head through this big opening. This is actually where the fold is supposed to be, right there. And that's where the puppy's head goes. But if you pick it up and it looks like this, it's kind of a common mistake that people try to put the head in here. If you do that and you have the leash attached where it's supposed to be, there's no way to make this reduce in size because there's nothing to draw the tension together. So your puppy could easily slip out, and that is what we want to avoid. So please be sure that when you put your puppy's head in here, you have a folded side, whether it's this big around or this big around. You still have a folded side and you have the ring on one side. You might even just get in a habit of always having the fold on the left and the ring on the right, or vice versa. Just whatever is going to make it easiest for you to remember that there is a fold and there is a flat part that is not folded. And this is the part that reduces in size. Another caution about the Martingale is that when the puppy has it on, especially when they're little and they're learning, they might get their lower jaw in here, and then it's hard for them to get it out because they strain forward and it causes more tension. So for as much as it is possible for you, make sure that this part of the collar is around on the back of their neck so that their mouth can't get into this little hole. So we will show you at pickup a little bit more about this. It's very helpful if you watch this even more than once, and if you have questions about it, please let us know. This is the first time I've made a video about it, and so I will maybe have to perfect that down the road. If I'm missing some key point, please give feedback about that. We just want to make sure that your puppy does not get away from you. All right, thank you.